Good to go? Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 105 of the Turn Left podcast. I've got Lin O'Neill, Southside Speedway, part owner, president, promoter, and operating manager. Thanks for coming out, Lin.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So first off, tell me a little about yourself. You grew up around here, I assume, and how did you get into racing? How old were you, so on and so forth?
I grew up right around the block from Lenny Pond.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I as a kid I would sneak over there as soon as I could walk and watch him. He work on his race car for Southside Speedway, and I started going to Southside. And the earliest I can remember is '72, but my mom and dad told me that I went when I was 18 months old.
Okay.
And I pretty much went till I got banned for life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, but I grew up around it all the time with Lenny and went to some cup races back in the day with him and stuff like that back in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
And then, he quit racing about '85, and I built my first Grand Stock in '88.
Okay, so
And,
shortly after that.
Yeah, and he didn't really help me with it at first, and one night his wife told him, he says, go over there and make sure that car's safe for that boy. So he came over there, and sure enough, I had my belts a little bit messed up, and he helped me fix those. And next thing I know, I was dragging him to the racetrack, and
Very nice.
And we ran Grand Stock, for 5 years, I guess.
Oh, yeah? What kind of car would that have been back then?
My first car was one of John Eversol's '69 Chevelles, and I took the body off and put a Monte Carlo body on it that I got from Shane Lockhart,
Oh, wow.
and put that on there because me and Shane he was my brother-in-law at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of intertwined in a whole lot of this stuff around the racetrack.
Yeah, seriously.
And so we then I ran that car for a couple of years and got the most I could get out of it. And Jerry Wayne Vaughn, who was running South Boston, I bought a car from him. His dad sold it to me dirt cheap, and that was the car I won 3 championships with.
Really?
Southside, right in a row, and a bunch of races. And then I sold it to Billy Morris, and he won a bunch of races in it.
Cool.
But yeah, it's and then I had the wild hair to jump up to a late model.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was way out of my league on that for a while, but a lot of hard work, got us to where we were, want to race and ran real good and real late models.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you got to have big pockets and
yeah.
big other things, too, to run in a late model class, that's for sure.
I took on Goliath, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So my whole life has been, doing stuff I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
So-
I feel you. That's pretty cool, though. So in 1886 is when you got into it, or when you bought your first
Well,
car. You
yeah.
were already into it by then, but that's when you started
Well,
racing.
1988 is when I started.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My
Yeah.
bad. And did you start with number 1? Was that always your number?
Well, Danny Reed had number 1 at the time in Grand Stock, and I had to run number 11. I said, what's better than 1 number 1 is 2 number 1.
Yeah.
So I ran 11 until he moved up, and then I got the 1, and I stayed with the number 1 from then on.
Okay. Yeah, because have you always done the Lenny Pond tribute scheme kind of type thing?
Usually when you see the yellow and gold on the car, it means I'm broke.
Okay.
Like when we had XO 102 on the car, it was teal to go with their colors.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for not remembering
and then
that.
we had CMO sign surfaces, CMO vinyl,
Okay.
and that car was red, white, and blue.
Okay.
And then air transmissions was yellow and black.
Okay.
So yeah, so we were lucky. I was lucky throughout my whole racing deal that I always kept sponsors helping me a whole lot. Because I did extra stuff away from the racetrack.
Yeah.
I didn't just ride around in circles. I did. We were one of the first ones to have a show car for late models around here.
Oh, really?
And we did a lot of shows with that. And, well, I had to have it for the XO 102 deal.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were doing the chili cook-offs and all that kind of stuff.
That's pretty cool.
And it worked out really well, and everybody loved the show car. And then we built the simulator, so that we played a video game inside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, and we did that, and which that we plan on. I want to do once we get the racetrack up and going. I plan on having sponsor seminars for the racers.
Okay.
To try to show them, this is how we got to treat these sponsors, because we got to, it's a sponsor-driven sport.
It is. Yeah, I was going to say, especially late models.
Yeah, so we it's all the way down. I mean,
It is all of them, but I'm just referring to
like I told the county people when they were trying to tell me that racing is not a good business model and all that, and I said, well, you show me any other sporting facility around here that's got over 1,500 advertisers at it every Friday night.
Yeah, that's true.
I said, between what's on the cars and what's on the billboards and what's race sponsors, I said it's an advertiser's dream, So
Yeah.
I said, so, if we take care of our sponsors, they're going to help us out throughout.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you could use it's got so much space with all the backstretch and all that kind of stuff if you wanted to use it, if you're going to be able to. So the number one, that was after the fact. What was Lenny? I'm trying to remember what was Lenny Pond's number.
Well, when he ran Southside, it was 1 VA.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where that came from, and the colors were his. And he was like a dad to me, so I wanted to honor him the whole time. And I'll never forget when he came back to run late models after he retired from Cup.
Yeah.
He said we were eating lunch one day. We pretty much ate lunch every day together. And I said, you want your old number back? He said, Lin, you've had it longer than I had it.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's probably not a good thing because I'm stuck at Southside and you've gone on to Cup.
Yeah,
So that was kind of neat. That he said, he says basically it was mine then, but it's really his number.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And he ran 54 in Cup mostly.
Nice.
So,
how many races did he do, or how many seasons, I guess, did he do in Cup?
He won Rookie of the Year in 1973. He beat Darrell Waltrip for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, wow.
And with one car and a volunteer crew. So, I mean, that was kind of amazing. And, and then he ran, his last race was 1989. He drove for Junie Dunleavy and finished 11th at Richmond.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then he just kind of, that was it. So.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
And you said you went to a lot of the races, or all of them, I guess, with him?
Oh, yeah. We used to go to Daytona for Speed Weeks every year for about, 8 or 10 years straight. And then, I've been to Talladega with him, Darlington. I've been all over the place. We came back we had a cool trip from Talladega. He actually got fired and didn't know it till he got down there.
Oh, what?
He was driving for a guy named Kenny Childers in number 12 car. And it was a year anniversary of him winning Talladega. And the guy fired him. And so me and my dad and him, we got in the car and headed on back, and we stopped at David Pearson's on the way back and spent a whole day with Pearson. And you talk about a neat trip. I mean, not many people get to hang out with David Pearson and Lenny Pond after they'd been fired, because David got fired from the Wood Brothers.
Yeah.
From the wheels falling off at Darlington, and then Lenny got fired from down there for that deal. And I'm going like, you'd have never known it hanging around them that day. They were just having a good old time. We went over to Cotton Owens' shop and saw Marty Robbins' car, and I got to sit in that and play in that when I was probably like 12 years old then, I guess, 12, 14 years old. I was 14, I think.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It was a neat trip.
What's up, Kenny Allen? What's up, Lauren Harney? Sound and everything working, everybody? Give me a sound check. I've got so many traumatic experiences from back before we had wireless that I'm always wondering. But that's pretty cool. I know that just a random thing, the Village Grill in Chester, do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had a picture of Lenny Pond on the wall, I think.
Yeah. And Lenny went in there and ate breakfast every morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
They're closed down now, unfortunately. I used to love that place.
Some new people opened it back up, but the people that had it were so good. They were great.
Yeah,
people.
I was going to say it was family-owned, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So they had Saving Southside Speedway stickers in there at one time and stuff like that for us and everything. So
yeah, that's cool.
Great local people. They actually moved to, I think, Cumberland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they sold everything they had here and just moved away.
Wow.
So.
Sorry, I'm trying to make sure. Like I said, its comments aren't popping up, I guess, but nobody's said anything bad, so that's a good thing, I guess. So Lenny Pond, he was kind of like a father figure to you, you said?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And did he run gold rims too? Is that where you got it from, or is that just an add-on feature that's cool?
Well, he ran. They were painted gold.
Yeah.
Back in, but I mean, you talking about the gold chrome ones?
Yeah, those are sick.
No, they just came out with those, so
yeah.
we used those. I thought it would be really something to add on to the car.
Yeah, I'm a big gold guy myself. My color was gold, but then obviously once I started driving for other people, you know, it didn't, but hopefully people still associate it with me. I mean, thank you, bud. But yeah, I'm a huge gold guy, so the gold rims I've always liked. Mine were spray painted, of course, when I ever had gold rims, but nonetheless. So back in the day, you said you have 3 championships total, or is that just in a row?
It was 3 in a row in Grand Stock.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I think it was 91, 92, and 93.
Yeah, and probably a stout field.
Yeah, it was. We were having 30, 40 cars every week.
Okay.
So we had last chance qualifiers and everything. So
oh my gosh.
I had a distributor mess up on me in qualifying one night, and I had to run the last chance race and barely made it in.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a tough field.
Yeah.
We need to get it back that way.
I know.
You know
Yeah, I was
what I
gonna say I remember my dad was like an enduro guy, but he went up to Grand Stock for, or that would have been the Charger division.
Right, because everything kind of moved up a class there for a while, and then the Grand Stock, when my Grand Stock got moved to a
limited late
model, and then it got morphed back into a real late model kind of deal with the unlimited motor. So,
yeah. Mason Belly was telling me a little bit about that. It's unlimited motor, but not unlimited carburetor, apparently. So that's a stickler of the rule.
That was for him, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Mason Bailey. I've got his shirt on. Not throwing shade. He said it. I had asked him if he had ever gotten DQ'd. I guess that could be a question for you, but.
I got just once.
Just once?
Yeah.
Okay, well you're racing for a long time.
I got caught with a wheelbase deal, and it was kind of funny. The week before, they come over and handed me the dumb end of the tape measure, and I held it. I had a 105-inch chassis, and it was supposed to be a 108-inch rule with that body. I had a Monte Carlo SS body on it. Yeah. And it was funny because you could take a IROC Camaro from the 80s, and you could stretch it from 101 or 102 to 105, but you couldn't shrink a Monte Carlo to 105.
Oh.
So you could actually run that wheelbase. So one night they walked over to me, and that's the only thing they had could get me on. And they walked over to me and handed me the tape measure, and I go like, cool. So I held it at 3 inches.
Yeah.
And it went on back. And the next thing you know, it was 108. They said so they were all right with it. Well, next week the officials come over. One of them held the dumb end.
Yeah.
And it got me, and we had to change the body to It was the ugliest thing you ever seen. We took it from Monte Carlo SS and made a celebrity out of it. One of them old boxy square celebrities, and
I don't know much about that.
And Lenny, and actually I think Kenny Allen protested me.
Oh yeah, Kenny Allen. Shout out to Kenny Allen. He's watching. So
no, we laugh about it now, but it didn't slow me down none, because all we did was put a nose and tail piece on it, and I cut the quarter window bigger, for make it look like a celebrity.
Yeah.
And we went back out there, and I really didn't have the money to buy a nose and a tail piece at the time. And Lenny told me, he said, they're not going to beat you sitting at home. He said, they're going to beat you on the racetrack.
Yeah.
So he paid for the nose and tail piece. Okay. We got them from Dillon Race Cars that may be out in the Midwest.
Oh, wow.
And they had to be shipped in by Greyhound bus.
Oh, wow.
The shipping cost more than the
nose
piece.
And the piece and the tail piece. Oh, wow.
But we got them in time and went back out there. This is when we ran every single week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went back out there with a halfway primered up car, and won the pole, won the race. So,
oh, that's sick.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, back when it was the weekly series.
Yeah. We and it was something. It was kind of cool that it happened that way. But me and Kenny laugh about it now. I have a good time with him. I enjoy Kenny. I tell you the truth, I probably fought this Southside Speedway thing more for people like Kenny Allen more than anybody, because and them guys have been there forever, watching racing and being involved in it and stuff. They're a big part of it.
Yeah, they help grow it.
Yeah, and I mean it's who I want to see in the stands being happy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my goal is. So.
No Kenny Allen, no Bud Allen.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of race cars there.
Oh yeah, Bud. Yeah.
Probably 50 race cars.
Well, like my pet project in this thing is going to be the Southside Speedway Hall of Fame.
Oh, cool.
And that way, we can have Bud and we'll have sponsors involved in it and stuff like that, to where they'll get acknowledged.
Yeah.
It's been since 1949.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of people come through them gates to make that racetrack great.
Yeah, that is cool.
And they need to be acknowledged. And, some people can be acknowledged in the Virginia Motorsports Hall of Fame that came out of there, but the majority of us are guys that stayed there and supported the racetrack. So
yeah,
we need to do something for everybody.
Yeah, I almost feel like Dominion even has a Hall of Fame already, and they're only 10 years old, I guess, now, or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but with the age of the track, you got to have something. Maybe do like NASCAR. What do they do? 5 a year or something?
Yeah,
like that?
and I'm a race fan first. You know what I mean, and a racer, so I understand both sides of the fence a little bit. And I wanted to do extra things that's never been done there before.
Yeah, no, so, I'm looking forward to it just as much as anybody. Especially, I mean, we're not far from it. You know what I mean? I can walk there almost.
Yeah, I can hear them running now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you really can. I mean, it's not hard to at all, and they're pretty loud. And also, too, if you see bugs, the door is open. We are outside, as the cool kids would say these days. So I promise we're not. It's pretty hot, though, so we might have some bugs by the time we get done with this for sweating. Okay. Now, I don't know if you remember when I had Greg Fernandez on. This would have been a long time ago. And, like, for him, it's not always a softball interview. I remember there was, like, a thing that went down between you and Greg, and like he was banned from the track, or you were, or something, or Jeff Oakley, or are we allowed to talk about that at all?
No, we can talk about it. It was a deal where the past promoter cut our pay basically in half.
Yeah.
And Greg called me up. He said, "What was your check?" I said half. He goes, and I was third, and he was fourth that night. And come to find out, I think she paid first and second full price, full pay. And then cut me and on back to half,
Wow.
And, we're the guys that, we're racing for the money and the sponsorship to keep us, above water, what I mean?
Well, it's the premier series of the track, too. You got to take care of those.
I mean, Eddie and Chris finished first and second. And, Chris has got, he's well-funded.
Yeah.
And Eddie was well-funded.
Yeah.
The rest of us were just, breaking even, trying to have fun, And so, we went to the drivers' meeting, and next thing you know, the drivers' meeting, Chris Steffi got up there and said that I was told to tell you that she said that, it's up to her discretion whether she paid us at all. And Greg looked at me, and he goes, "What did he just say?" And I said, "You heard it." And he said, "Well, let's all just start and park." And I said, "That's fine with me." I said, "I'll do whatever y'all want to do."
Yeah. What's the difference to make? We're all getting paid half anyway.
I was third in points, but I was a race behind second. I was a race ahead of fourth, which I think was Greg actually at the time. And I said, worst case scenario, she throws us out a week, we're still in the same boat.
Right.
It just tightens up the field a little bit. And we had planned on running the second race and let Eddie and Chris run the tires off, and then we were going to jump in the second race.
Yeah.
But probably the most killer race had been out there in a long time.
Yeah.
But so it's just, it just kind of worked out bad. Some people kind of, kissed a little butt to get back, I guess, is what happened. And it is what it is. It's over with. I'm not even worried about it no more.
Yeah, and I would trust me. It was never a judge of your character.
No.
I like Greg. I'm friends with Greg. And not friends, but we play golf and stuff together a little bit. But so yeah, I mean, I just was curious because also too, when at the time I was a street stock guy or something like that. So I don't really know what's going on. You know what I mean? You hear rumors, you hear this, that, and the other. But I mean, clearly there was a lot of promoter not issues. I never really had too many problems, to be honest. But like even speaking to street stock, like Mike Gano, he ended up, I can't remember what they did to piss him off, but he banned himself, and never came back, and he had 7 or 8 cars with him, so that took the street stock class from 20 cars down to, on the best night of the year, maybe 12 or whatever.
Right.
And then that dwindled to 7 or 8, and then, there was no reason to even do it anymore. So he kind of almost shut down the class nearly, you know what I mean? Because he almost had a field of cars just alone.
Well, I think we got more aggravated with her because she wouldn't answer the phones that we called, and talk to her and find out what was going on. And that's kind of what I said at my meetings we had, I think back in October and November.
Yeah.
I said, nobody's ever going to get banned for life unless they come in there and bring a gun and shoot somebody or something. That's,
there's always exceptions, yeah.
Right. We're always going to sit down and talk and make it all work out and come back and race. And that's because I know what it took away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've gave my whole life to that place.
Absolutely, yeah.
And before that happened and even after that's happened, so the last thing I ever wanted to do was see the racetrack shut down. And that was never the intention. It was, as a business, or any racetrack should guarantee you what you're going to get paid that night.
Yeah, that's bare minimum.
I mean, that's the way NASCAR tracks work.
Yeah, if you change the rules, you have to notify everybody, and then they have the option to show up or not. You know what I mean? You can't be told one thing and then you show up to the track and it's a different thing. So I understand it totally.
So I don't want to. It's not good business, and I didn't like. And a lot of us, it hurt a lot of us. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys, but for and we basically, I told Greg, he come to my race shop. He goes, and I said, I said, let's call her and find out what's going on. Maybe she's having some money problems or something. But let's help her out. You know what I mean? It's that's the way I've always looked at it. If she needed help, I mean, heck, I'll sponsor a polo award or something out of my business. You know what I mean, or whatever. But I mean, that's we never did it to hurt the racetrack. We needed to know what we're racing for, and what we're not racing for.
It was just as simple as a peaceful protest.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm totally.
Right. I mean,
I'm with that.
We bought all our pit passes. We bought all our, all our tires and everything when we come to the back gate. So it won't a boycott. You know what I mean? It was just a little protest. And,
right.
And but like I said, she could have talked to us and made everything good. But,
well, and I don't think at that point, their heart was really in it to where they even cared enough to make, but smart decisions and stuff. Alex Brock said that Brian Smith destroyed Mike for the championship. That's why he never came back. I think it was something to do with they suspended Junior for a couple races for something silly, and he never came back. But Alex Brock probably has his finger on the pulse a little better than I do. Michael Frazier said, hey, Lin O'Neill. You know Michael Frazier?
Oh, yeah.
The other number one.
Yep, other number one.
And then he made a nice save and said, hey, Ethan Ayers. He almost just said, hey to you only, I guess. But what's up, Michael Frazier? But to come full circle, pun intended, now you're the owner, part owner, and track promoter yourself. You know what I mean?
Kind of an amazing story for me, being the guy that was banned for life, and then I got in a fight with my partner.
Oh yeah,
out there. Yeah. So it's been a kind of a movie going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree, and it's just that's so it's a storybook type thing, like a movie, like you said. Sorry, my handwriting is not as good as it should be, but like I said, I was rushing. You don't have, and you can't talk about opening dates yet or anything like that. You don't have any of that in mind?
Well, I mean, we're still waiting on demolition permits.
Okay.
So we thought we'd have had them kind of quick, but we're waiting on those, and then we can start tearing down some stuff. And we got some grading we have to do before the new stands go in. Some of the like where the stands are, actually the water flows to the racetrack. We're going to try to get it away from the racetrack.
Smart.
Hopefully it won't seep underneath and mess us up if we have a big rain at 12 o'clock at noon during the day. And that way we can get the racetrack dry and get everybody in there and race. Yeah. So.
What I was saying is that's why I also had to ask about the whole thing, is because of coming not for the line of this silly joke of coming full circle, but just like I said, almost like a storybook, like your band. Now you're the owner, you know what I mean? It's just cool. But what's up, Richard McGee? Alex Brock said he's ready to have both cars, and it's when it's open, he's ready to go. So, and I heard that y'all already acquired some bleachers from somewhere.
We've got a contract on some bleachers. Yeah, we haven't got them here yet. So.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. You probably don't want to get them here until you've got somewhere to put them anyway. So
yeah, well, we got plenty of land to lay them down on. That's for sure. So I mean, I figured we just put them in the outside pits till we're ready for them.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that.
I think we pretty much kept people from getting in there now. So
good. Yeah, because it was pretty graffiti and stuff like that, which it's I guess bound to happen with that many neighborhoods that close and stuff. But it's still unfortunate. Are you going to allow our go-kart's going to be back? Have you thought about that?
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I want champ karts there. We're looking at doing some go-kart racing on Saturdays or Sundays, and there might be some asphalt go-kart racing. Like a road, kind of like the Hampton Roads Kart Club does with a little road course type deal. So we might see how that goes. But I definitely want the champ karts back. Heck, I can remember Justin Valves on my race car and watching them, go looking around the hood, around the car, seeing who's leading that, because them things were drafting each other. It's like a whole different type of racing compared to what we did, and it was so unique. And I was going so hopefully I'm gonna have a meeting here soon with those guys and try to see how many want to do it and all that. So, naturally the big trick here is getting all the cars we can get. I don't want to have opening night with 6,000 or 8,000 people in the stands, and next thing you know, we got 5 race cars.
Right. No, I don't think you'll have that issue, but
I don't want to run my fans off right off the get go.
Are you going to try to run every division every night though, like they used to do?
No.
Okay.
No.
See, that's where it went wrong. Is then you have 7 divisions running in one night, and then the races are too short.
It's going to be
many of them.
probably four classes a night.
Okay. No, I agree with that. I think that's best. Fraser asked,
but we will run consecutive weeks, like
Yeah.
22, 24 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Every Friday.
right.
But just not,
Right.
if you're a late model guy, you're not necessarily racing every Friday, or especially
Right.
if you're one of the,
Because
car
I
divisions.
don't know
or
how
something.
many people I heard when I was even banned, they'd go like, man, I rode out to Southside and the gates were locked. Nothing's going on because she was running every other week.
Yeah.
And they were, where they
Planning on
came
going
from,
every Friday.
Right, they were going every race,
Yeah.
every weekend they were going to a racetrack, and they go like, "What's the deal?" I go like, "It's her track. She can do what she wants to with it." You
Yeah.
know? So
I always kind of wondered that too, because that's another problem too with that is if you are a driver, you never get to watch any racing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if your every division runs every night, you're a driver every night.
Right.
Even if obviously you're not racing every race, but you're having to watch every race pretty much from the infield, and you're working on the car the whole
Right.
time. It takes away the whole experience.
I'm really hoping that the racers understand that this is probably the last chance for Southside Speedway. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that during their off weeks that they bring their families to watch during their off
Yeah,
weeks.
I mean, I don't even plan on racing, but I
Right.
would be either way. I used to back in, when they used to do every Friday night.
Right.
When street stocks weren't racing, I would be there to watch
Right.
the races.
I go like I sit there and think about all the races we ran right back to back to back like we did, and I go like, how in the world did we do that? You know, what I
every
mean?
Friday. Yeah.
Every Friday night. I mean, we would work our butts off every week. Now, if you race 2 weeks in a row, everybody's going. Everybody's worried about it. They don't want to go do it. So I go like, but every other week's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So
It's more expensive now too, so it makes
Yeah.
it harder
Oh, yeah.
to run every week too. But Lin O'Neill, are y'all looking for labor for the weekends? Weekend warriors. Michael Frazier wants to know.
absolutely, we're going definitely. I'm already taking names down to have. I got a list of names of volunteers for like a volunteer work day. Yeah.
Put him on the list.
Yeah, and then I got a list of people that will help us on race nights.
Oh, cool.
And we're also going to do other events there. We're going to do. I think we have 286 other potential events.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, it's it's not going to be just a racetrack like
Yeah.
it was. We got
You got to facilitate,
Right,
or
we
you
gotta
got
do a lot
to
of stuff.
utilize the facility.
right. I got into racing in 1988 because that was going to be the last year of Southside Speedway.
Really?
Yeah, a guy named Solomonski had a contract on the property. He was going to build a shopping center there.
Oh wow.
And I built that race car. I was 21, I think, and I got 2 credit cards for $5,000 a piece, and I went in debt $10,000 to get my race car to that racetrack. Yeah, because I wanted to race where my heroes raced at. You know what I mean? And it took me 20 years to pay them damn credit cards off.
Yeah.
But
I've been in the depths of those as well.
yeah, so I was there. I made it. You know what I mean? And
No, you were racing.
Yeah, I was racing. And
Yeah.
I didn't own a truck, a trailer, or garage. Franklin Butler's dad, Frank Butler, we call him Big Frank. He let me have a garage up there where Butler Insurance is on Route 10.
Yeah. Okay.
He let me have a bay because I grew up with all his kids and everything.
Nice.
So he let me have a bay there, and I kept a race car there. I borrowed a trailer, and the night I won when I had to change the body to a celebrity, I didn't own a truck, couldn't find a truck. I had to tow it with a dump truck.
What?
Yeah, so I towed the race car to the track with a dump truck that night.
Wow.
So I mean, and now I got a tractor trailer sitting at home with 2 late models sitting in the garage, and I'm going like, boy, times have really changed for me
Yeah,
on that.
right.
So.
Frazier wants to know, or not Frazier, Alex Brock. I'm sorry. Like, have you seen? Do you know who Cletus McFarland is?
Oh yeah.
So you've seen he does like the Crown Vic races,
Yeah.
Nissan Ultimate races, stuff like that.
That's one thing we're looking at real hard. I do a lot of research and I've been looking on Facebook and Marketplace and seeing what car is the cheapest car.
Okay.
That people can buy for $300 to $500 range.
Yeah.
And start for a starter class, whether it's the Crown Vic or the Altimas or whatever. I mean, I wish a daggone minivan wasn't so dangerous with your feet up there in the front because they're a dime a dozen. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
I literally said to I don't know if it was BJ or somebody, but I literally said I hope they come up with a minivan class.
Yeah,
like I would
I'm
build
just
one.
so afraid with the feet stuck up there that somebody's going to get plowed in the wall and get trapped in there.
Yeah, you're not
So,
a lot of room there
yeah,
between you and the front.
But I've been doing a lot of research on that because the U cars have gotten a little bit pricey, and for somebody just starting, heck, I got a U car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember.
Yeah, I was renting it out, and one of my guys on my crew had built it, and he said he was going to sell it, and I said, well, what do you want for it? He said probably $600. I said, bring it to the house.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
no brainer there.
Yeah, so I cleaned it up a little bit and worked on it, and then I rented it out to a boy, to his family for a kid to drive, and it's I love the class. You know what I mean? It's one of my favorite classes, and because
Oh yeah.
where else can you see such competition?
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
everybody's favorite class other than maybe late model.
Yeah, and that heck, I even got Bud Allen mad at me on that one deal.
Oh yeah. Oh, when y'all did the y'all did like a cool payout type thing that night
and it
for
was,
used cars.
and I never meant to mess with Bud, because I like Bud and a lot. He's a good guy, and he does some killer race car stuff. But it was a deal where, he had kind of taken his guys. I said, well, I'll take the field.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of deal, and it worked. The track was only getting like 10 or 12 cars, and the next thing you knew, it was 20, 25 at night.
Yeah,
because of the money being thrown up.
I don't remember who won that night. Do you?
The boy called me because I had gone around and got some contingency sponsors. Like, you had to run the stickers though to get the money from everybody. Yeah. And the boy had called me and wanted to do it, and he goes and I told him my daughter would hand him out at the track. She was going because I was banned. I couldn't go.
Oh yeah.
So I had her go out there and drop them in every seat during the thing before the race with all the fans.
Oh yeah. The meet and greet.
Meet and greet, right?
Yeah.
So I had her drop them off in the seats, and I said, and the guy won. I was watching on race monitor at work.
Oh really?
Yeah, I kept up with every race.
Yeah.
And David Miles that just passed away, that was a track official. He would actually Facebook Live it for me.
I remember, yeah.
So I could watch.
I used to watch his videos.
Yeah, I thanked him every week for doing that for me.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the last thing I ever want to do is not be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so anyway, so the boy wins the race. He calls me up Saturday. I told my daughter, I said, take a picture of his front fender, see if he's got the sticker on it. She said, Dad, he don't have them on there. I said, well, that don't make sense. I said, he said he was going to do it. Because it was $2,500, I think, on my side.
Holy cow!
So it was going to be like the biggest payout ever for a new car, And he calls me Saturday morning. He says, "Can I come get my check?" I go like,
Yeah, you
didn't run the stickers.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, they said they were going to ban me for life, like you, if I ran your decals." I said, "Really?"
Oh no.
I said, man, that's all it is to help the racetrack. It won't never to.
Chip Husband might have been Jennifer Allen said that's who won the first race.
Yeah, so the next race we did a deal where the top, if nobody won, we broke it down to top three in points or whatever, kind of like a points deal.
Yeah. And
I don't even remember the dollar amounts it was now. I think it was like $1,500 or something like that for the guy that won it.
Okay.
So won the Outlaw Challenge is what we called it.
I got it just because I have it on my list. How come you're mad at Jennifer Allen? She didn't ask me to ask you that, but she made a joke about it recently. And
I ain't never been mad at Jennifer Allen.
I know, I'm just kidding.
She's a good girl. She's been taking pictures for me. I want her to be my track photographer.
Yeah, I was saying she does the best.
I hope she don't say no.
I know. Sarah K. Speed Shots. I mean, that's sponsor of this show actually.
Yeah.
And who got the money for the computer and everything too. As far as building back is what I'm really asking.
I've had her out there taking some pictures for me. What we're starting with kind of deal.
What about mini cups? Have y'all thought about doing mini cups?
Oh yeah, definitely mini cups.
Definitely mini cups.
Yep.
Okay. I can't remember. Did we have those at Southside at the end?
I don't know.
Or was it? I don't even think we had champ carts at the end either.
Yeah, champ carts had died out.
Yeah.
So we got.
But you want to have all of them.
Yeah, we got to build them back up. So.
Jennifer Allen said she will be there with bells on.
That's good.
What does that mean?
I guess she's going to be my photographer.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if there was like bells meaning something. I don't know. So you're gonna do go-karts. I won't ask you. Normally, I ask people their favorites. I feel like if the track promoter has favorites,
yeah, I was
might be a little.
I didn't want to do the Rushmore,
the Mount Rushmore. Yeah, hope
do
Chapman's not watching. Gee,
yeah.
They'll probably put him into PTSD.
I tried to get Chapman to drive for me one time, and he turned me down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How come? Rival.
I don't think he liked me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Frazier said he was definitely told not to run the decal. Maybe it was Frazier that.
Nah, that's all right. I'm not holding nobody guilty on that.
I don't believe you though, Frazier. He might believe you, but I don't. What's up, David Blankenship? Do you have any thoughts on if you were to do like the Grand Stock class at Southside? Let's just call it Grand Stock for layman's terms. Would it be more like Langley's Super Streets, or would it be more like Dominions with the bodies and the, you know what I mean? I feel like that's
man, I'm a steel body guy. I'll be honest with
You're singing my song.
Because the reason I like steel bodies is because it's part of the show when a wreck happens, and the fans today, all that plastic body stuff, and I've ran them, and all the composite bodies are just popping back out. They don't look like they're wrecked. And I went to Darlington last year with one of my investors, and I was sitting there going like, the guys were hitting the walls, and they come around, and the only thing you could see was the toe link broken, the right rear tire was flopping.
Yeah.
And the rest of the car just had a scratch mark on it.
Really?
And I go like, what happened? I mean, this don't even look like a guy hit the wall,
Yeah.
And the guy was with me, was a little older than me. He goes, I told him, I said, man, that's a big crowd from when we were kids watching races. He said, you ain't kidding. He said, this is boring.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I've got some ideas for some of the classes, like the late model class, Virginia Racer, whatever we're going to call that thing. I think I'm going to do a little weight break for people running steel sides on the car.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And as soon as one of them wins with the steel sides, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be monkey see, monkey do. It's the way it always has in racing.
Yeah, you're right. As far as the car kind of looking torn up, if you actually tear it up, there's something to be said about, like, how cool it is. Like, I remember Kurt Busch at Martinsville, I think it was. He had that torn up race car. Yeah. That might have been a composite body, so maybe that's not a good example. But still, the victory lane pictures and all that, or him missing a fender, the whole car's torn all to pieces and stuff. Yeah. It was something kind of cool about that.
Well, when I was a kid, these were Chevelles and Novas back in, the 68s Chevelles and Novas and stuff. When a guy wrecked, damn, we thought he defied death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going like, man, that thing's tore up. The roof is buckled even, you know what I mean? And I can remember when they'd wreck on the back straightaway, they'd take the headlight doors, which were aluminum at the time, and they had the race car number on them, and they'd chunk them over the wall in that little grassy area.
Yeah.
So all us kids would run out the grandstands and run over there and try to get one of them, or go in the pits and break a piece of Bondo off the car, had the color of the car on it. So we did all kinds of cool stuff like that. And the kids today don't get that, what I mean?
No, we used to walk the track after every race, pick up little things and debris and stuff.
Just like open helmets with the bubble goggles, after the races, the drivers would give us bubble goggles. And I wish I had about 10 of them that I used to get from all of them. But naturally I played with them on my bicycle when I was a kid. But no, it's I think a big part of racing is missing because of that. And what better place to bring it back than Southside? It's just.
Yeah, no, I agree totally.
I'm gonna give people the option of both, but I think I'm gonna do a weight break deal.
Well, and back when Southside made the switch and started allowing those types of bodies in Grand Stock, at the time there was still steel bodies, side panels, everything that you could buy right on. What's the website? Whatever that you could buy all the race car parts and stuff from.
Like Speedway
Motors, yeah. So you could buy body panels and stuff like that, metal hoods, everything pretty much.
Yeah.
So it was never really necessary to make that switch other than, for performance, which is not, if everybody's not doing it, kind of like Langley has kept it true with the metal steel bodies.
I get it a little bit because, like when I first started racing in '88, it'd been like if I ran a 50, if somebody was out there running with a 57 Chevy. It would have been like, what in the world is that? Today's kids, my daughter's 22, I guess, and when she was in high school, I wanted to buy her a Monte Carlo SS, like the 80s. And I said, it'd be a cool ride for school, right? She looked at me, she said, Dad, that's a boat.
Yeah.
And I go like, what do you mean it's a boat? I came up when they had Buick Electric 225s, you know what I mean? That was a boat.
Yeah.
That was an aircraft carrier then.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So, but I was sitting there going like, so I get the younger generation, they don't look at a Monte Carlo SS like me or you probably do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, my first two cars were a 80 Trans Am and then a 87 Buick T-Type. Kind of like the Grand National, but it wasn't black. It was like gold.
I got a Buick Grand National.
Do you?
Yeah, I bought one. I bought an 84. I bought it when I graduated high school.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude, you still have it?
Still have it.
That's sick. Yeah. I miss mine so much. They've got a weird braking system on them. It's like made from like a semi truck or something.
Man, we used to cruise Broad Street, and I'd win stoplight to stoplight all night long.
I never lost a single race in that car. I raced a Porsche 911. I raced, all kinds of like
Mustangs,
Mustangs and Camaros and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I think for '87 it was like the fastest production car.
Every year it was America's fastest production car.
Yeah, faster than a Corvette or whatever, even technically.
Yeah.
So it was a beast on quarter miles. Yeah. Mine was also like I bought it from this dude that used to take it up to the track, so it had like a shift kit in it, had bigger tires in the back, stuff like that. So it obviously didn't handle, but it was just a road car. But it was fun.
Yeah, but I get what some of the younger generation. I gotta, I'm 57, so I go like I gotta get myself thinking like some of these younger people to get the younger people there. You know what I mean? Because the average age of a short track race fan is like 58 years old, and a lot of them are older than that. You know what I mean? That's I during this whole deal, I've watched 20 of my older fans pass away, and it kills me because I wanted them to see this racetrack get back going. You know what I mean?
Reopen,
and we're losing them, and they were diehards. So we got to make new diehards.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely doable. Especially it's easier here, like so close to Richmond and in Chesterfield here, where it's very populated. Like I feel like Dominion's not in the middle of nowhere. It's just it's not as much going on right there, so you have to drive a little farther to get to it, and it makes it a little bit harder to grow the audience that much, and especially the younger audience and stuff. But I think if you do fun stuff, like Langley, I feel like does a pretty good job of doing fun, cool stuff.
They do a great job. And Dominion's got an excellent business model. It's just it seems like nobody comes south from Fredericksburg. You know what I mean? And for some reason, I don't understand what that deal is. But I mean, they got a big market area in Fredericksburg. I think we have 150,000 people in a 10-mile radius of the racetrack.
Yeah.
So we got a big group to pull from. Now the magic thing is to figure out what that group wants. You know what I mean? How we could get them there.
Chapman said compact cars are where the race fans are headed. I guess he's just talking about U-cars in general.
It's the only thing on the road now, pretty much.
Yeah, true.
So or SUVs.
The new late model stock car body at Southside Speedway will be an Anchor LOL one big box. Frazier said he would drive for you. What, the U-car, I guess, is what you offered Chapman to drive?
I told Chapman to drive that, and then I was going to put him in a grand stock.
I'd say Frazier's got the fastest U-car ever. I don't know why you would want to drive yours. No offense to your U-car, but I can imagine if it's $600 U-car, it's probably not that flying number one.
It's not up to date no more.
It's not the ex-champion's car.
No.
We got a couple other comments. I did the AR body to be different, plus I needed a roof after it got jumped on. Well, you can find roofs, David. I had a roof sitting on the side of my house. Well, I don't need that excuse, Blankenship. You did it for the weight savings. David Blankenship also said JD still rocks the bubble goggles.
Oh, does
he? Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know they still made them.
I mean, it could be. I guess they're both JD. His son and his father. One's junior, one's senior. Is it? Do you know the Eversols? JD Eversol?
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's what he's talking about. JD still rocks the bubble goggles.
He still uses an open face helmet. I didn't know people could still use open face helmet.
Blankenship probably left because I told him, I said that he did it for weight cut, but no. Hopefully he'll comment in.
Well, like I said, I know we can't stop people from kind of running their bodies, but if I give incentives for people to kind of go old school, let's see if they do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the other problem too, I'd say, with not to make it all about this one thing, and I've been babbling people's ears off about this stuff for years, but then the cars all look different and stuff too. So it's like the way Langley does it with the all steel bodies. They're super street, I think they call it. I feel like it's just the best way, but it is probably getting harder and harder to find that type of stuff as far as the body parts and all. You have more of an excuse now, David Blankenship, but yes, Blankenship. What did we ask him a minute ago? Open face helmet. Yes, he still wears an open face helmet. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they even allow that.
That's what I was
Especially
surprised.
at Dominion and stuff. Like he races at fast tracks.
I mean, I ran an open face helmet. Then when I went late model, I got a full face helmet.
Yeah, but that was back then. I mean, you didn't have a neck restraint or anything. You know what I mean? Like,
I never could use a Hans device to tell you the truth. I know it's a good thing, but I never used it myself.
We ended up having to get them, I guess, the past couple of years of Southside. They required them because we had the Hutchins that was required for a while. That I used to just have it on, but I wouldn't actually use it. But then we got the wasn't the Hutchins, but it was some off-brand, a little bit cheaper version of it. We got a couple of them.
Yeah, I think I had a Hutchins one time too.
Bud says that the weight break for an old school body is an awesome idea. So, Bugs Harefield, I guess, still wears an open face helmet too. How often does he race though? And Bobby Curtis apparently wears an open face helmet. Jennifer Allen said the sticker thing wouldn't because of her. I don't think he said that. I think it was the stickers
no.
thing. I don't think.
I didn't know who did it.
Yeah, it would have been somebody from the track, I assume.
And
In fact, Frazier, who told you not to do the stickers? Just comment in and tell us. That way we'll know. Obviously, it wasn't Jennifer Allen, so we know we're clear there.
no, it's over with. I ain't worried about it. Everybody had a good time.
Oh my gosh! Bud Allen just said David Blankenship is already spun out in 2026. I'm sorry, David, but that's just it's a little too good not to read off. You know what I mean? I didn't want anybody to miss that. His name was the fidget spinner for a while.
Oh, really?
He spun out so many times. But he had a light, fast car. Those Grand Stock, that's where they were so powered with such little tires. You know what I mean? I never had that problem. I got a Grand Stock with no power in it, which was, wasn't a competitive car, but it was I didn't have to worry about spinning it out because it could pretty much handle the whole pedal when I'd put it down. So,
yeah, we had a lot of motor when we ran Grand Stock. We had double hump heads cut down to, I think it was like 48 cc's. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we could have plenty of horsepower.
yeah,
we actually, I think we were pushing what the late model stock ran.
really.
Yeah.
What size tires were y'all running?
We were running a belted street tire.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but we had plenty of horsepower.
Did you like having, like they say that street tires like that because they're not
I love
flat, they cool off a little quicker, or
Yeah.
they don't get as hot because they have more
Well,
surface area
right.
touching the air, I guess, or whatever to cool off, something like that.
I loved it. I loved the street tires. I made money racing Grand Stock. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I
Really?
made a bunch of money, and
Really?
and way more than I ever made running the late model stock car. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
But
enough to pay off the 10K in debt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was winning pretty much every week, and I think I took home $325, and it cost me basically $25 to go through the back gate because I wasn't buying tires.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So,
So they were street tires that you brought.
Yeah, well, we bought them at the track,
Oh, okay.
and that's something. I'm gonna try to sell on the racers because I want it to be cheap for the racers. I want it, the cost in the race car is the tires, the engines, and shocks.
Yeah.
Some of
nowadays.
these shocks are going crazy, and I have no clue who let that get out the bag like that.
Yeah.
But that needs to be reeled back in, which is the Virginia race shocks are pretty good. But the engines kind of stuck with a certain degree on that. Even the crate motor deal with the Virginia racers that's not a ideal situation. I mean, it's $8,500 for a motor, and everybody's putting $8,000 in them and rebuilding them right off the bat. So, you got $15,000, $16,000, $18,000 on a daggone crate motor that's supposed to save you a
Makes
couple
me
money.
sweat. Yeah.
So that's kind of out of the norm. But the tires, I mean, if everybody's on the same tire, what are we fussing for? I've always looked at race tires like this, or any kind of tire on a racetrack, is if it's black and round and holds air, let's go at it. You know what I mean? I mean, whoever can manage the tires and make it work or whatever, let's save the guys money. If like I said, I bought my first year I won a championship. I had two left sides from the year before, and I bought two new rights and had them cut down at Thurston Spring.
Shaving the tire?
shave them down to so they wouldn't sway.
Angle shave or flat shave?
Flat shave. That's all we could do back then.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, we didn't have no
Put a
angle
little
stuff.
angle on it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I bought two tires and won a championship in a bunch of races. I go like, this is a no-brainer. I came from go-karts where we were soaking tires like crazy, and I hated every minute of that.
I know.
So, and the cool part about the street tire was, if you soaked it, it would rip it.
Right.
So it took care of the soaking issue.
Right. No, I tried soaking a couple street tires too.
And-
it would tear them apart.
And I think the promoters went to a race tire because they started making money off of them.
Yeah.
Because we went to the Hoosier Comanches? What were those tires?
I just know they were Hoosiers.
Yeah,
You're asking the wrong
we
guy,
went to
though.
the Hoosier DOT tire with the
Okay.
zigzag pattern in it.
Okay, yeah.
And my car, which handled really exceptional, I could get 4 races out of them. Most people were putting them on every 2 races.
Mm-hmm.
So the cost started coming in,
Yeah.
and so I mean it's
I think everybody thinks that, other than the track that wanted to make the money.
right.
Because
So
if you just level the playing field and take the money out of then you don't have Chris Dodson and Eddie Johnson that are so much faster.
Right.
Not that they're buying more tires than everybody else, but they're working them a little bit better. I don't know. I just think that old tires would level the playing field.
well, and
Not old tires,
in a
but-
late model class, you almost stuck in a modified. You almost stuck because they're slicks. kind of deal.
Doing them 4 of them every race.
Well, you could
or
do
2 of
two
them?
every. You could do something like 2 every.
But wasn't late model at the end 4 every race you could do? I might be misspeaking, so that's totally my fault. If that's
I
the
don't know
case.
what the late models. I know when I was there, it was. I think it was once a month 4, and the rest of the month was 2.
Okay.
That way, it let a new guy come in if he wanted to come in and be on equal playing field.
Yeah.
Because then now, who wants to go get a junk tire out of a tire building, put on
I
a
know.
$80,000 late model?
Right. I was to say
You know?
that might work for like passing late model tires down to grand stocks or something like that.
Right.
You might be able to incorporate. I've heard of
So-
tracks doing that. I've never really seen it incorporated,
Right.
or I've never personally seen it incorporated.
So we got to figure something out on tires to help the guys out. Because I mean, to me, when we didn't have bad tires every week, it was 30, 40 race cars in grand stock. So
Official, if I remember, it was 2016. The official told Frazier, and Frazier was new. He didn't really know anybody. That's what he's claiming. Have you thought about doing like any like? Not only having the like short track showdown back and stuff would obviously be super cool, but even doing like ARCA or Cars Tour races, stuff like that. I mean, I assume that you would like to do them.
we're definitely going to do a smart modified tour race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the Cars Tour. I met with some people down at Wake County this past weekend to start talking to them. They're actually cutting their schedule back to
Oh, really?
like 13 races is what they want to try to cut it back to. So I don't know. I think we're in the Richmond market, so I think that's going to help us a lot.
Yeah.
But we got to get everything done first.
Yeah, I might be speaking too far into the future, but it would
Yeah.
be a cool thing to see that there.
But Smart Modified Tour definitely wants to be here, and I want them here.
Yeah.
It'd be the first time real modifieds have been there since 1968.
Whoa.
So that'll be a cool promotion deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like what were those modifieds called that Stinson used to run?
Those
are wheeling modifieds.
Yeah,
Different, or is that
same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing, basically.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Alex Brock asked about if Dodson was going to come back, which I think I already answered on a different episode with Chapman or Bo or something, because it was right after the announcement, when y'all were on TV and all that. I was there, but I saw Chris Dodson, and Jennifer asked him, or somebody asked him, Jennifer was standing there with me, I know, and he said no, or even maybe something else, no. But then he says maybe, so I guess you never know.
I got money he'll be back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know Chris at all?
Oh, I know him real well.
Do you?
Yeah,
Cool.
we all grew up together.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I was to say, I didn't know I know that obviously y'all been racing together for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Sometimes that could be a bad thing too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, yeah, I know.
No, he's a good guy. He's definitely and I guess all of us are guilty of this. When we get to the racetrack, we're entirely different people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Especially when we put the helmet on.
yeah,
So that's what even with Jeff Oakley, I told him, I said, dude, the only way we'll make this work is if we don't put our helmets on at the same time.
yeah, exactly.
I said,
Yeah. You can alternate races.
yeah, we can't put our helmets on, because we're just gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So
$152 a tire for UCar. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be that's going to be a business decision that's going to be made. I'm more talking about tire scheduling and stuff like that,
Right.
Frazier. But that was another question. Have y'all thought about doing Hoosier, or do you care? I mean, like you said,
I'm looking at all
all
tire manufacturers to tell you the truth right now. We're even looking at that company Cobra Tire.
Okay.
Down in Georgia.
Okay.
I'm looking for something that's going to save these racers money.
Yeah.
I'm a racer. I know what it. I know I don't like buying tires. I didn't have a whole field full of carcasses sitting out there.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
Yeah, trying to get rid of them. You know what I mean? Like they're like, let's do something here that these guys can race and make a little, break even and make a little money racing like it used to be. I mean, I don't know if I've been out of racing long enough to where the dynamics, the business model of racing has changed so much to where everybody just expects to lose money. But I know I didn't lose money racing.
Yeah.
I got a whole lot of stuff from my racing days.
Brock said he let somebody drive the Hedgecock car. I'll let him run my new Hedgecock car. Oh, he's talking about Dodson.
Oh.
Well, yeah. I don't think Dodson doesn't have a car anymore, does he?
Nah.
But we're not even allowed to talk about where it went. Or are we?
It's the 22 car in late model. Shucks, Justin Marks.
Oh yeah, maybe
Is that his name?
Mason did tell me that. I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
No, Greg Holt. That's who. Finer Homes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
who has it.
So we asked about the tires. U-cars lose money every race. Yeah, well, sometimes they are.
And I tell you what I do want to do for the racers, and I know there's a lot of times we can't do but so much on a purse because of the business model.
Right.
But I want to do point funds, and I want to do a deal where, if a racer runs every single race, he's eligible for the point fund.
Yeah.
In other words, you support me, I'm going to support you.
Yeah, and even just doing like a big money race for each division, or something like that throughout the year, I think would be cool.
Then we'll get sponsors for Hard Luck Awards and fastest qualifier award. Whatever.
That'd be cool.
We'll do things like that.
Yeah.
And that's stuff that doesn't take a whole lot on our end to do it for the racer and show them that we do appreciate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Something they said that the Cobras, apparently you can get a ton of laps on them. You're going to make me change my fantasy football name. It's Who's Your Daddy?
Who's Your Daddy? Yeah.
But it can't be Cobra. I don't know. I'll have to think of something new. Not that I'm planning on racing, like I said, but.
But back in the old days, when Lenny was racing, he would tell me stories about how they'd buy a set of Firestones and they'd run them to the cords, and they were just as fast from day one as they were race 10.
Yeah.
And these companies have figured out a way to drop them 2 or 3 tenths after a heat cycle.
Yeah.
And then they're obsolete. They're not wore out. They're just obsolete. You can't, if you're going to run good.
Right.
And the Cobra tire supposedly, is faster off after a heat cycle than it is on the first time you run it.
Yeah.
So we got to do a lot of research on that, and some track testing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get some
I'm sure that's true too. Like when Dominion was opening, I think they did a track test with each type of tire and see how it handled the track and all that. I guess we'll have to wait until it's about to open, see what the surface looks like. Are y'all planning on resurfacing the track?
I think we're leaning towards that. At first, I wasn't, for the mere fact that old asphalt makes a better race than new asphalt. But I mean, I'm 57. If I pave it now, I don't have to pave it the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It's 30, 40 years before you have to repave them.
Yeah.
So I'm going I'd rather it almost be perfect, nice looking when people walk in and see a nice black racetrack all striped up.
Yeah, that's true. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, instead of looking like hickory with all the cracks, crack fill in it.
Yeah, but that's how you know it's about to be a good race.
Oh, yeah.
But that's only race fans or like diehard fans, I guess, or whatever. I mean, like the average fan wouldn't know that. I
mean, Southside's been such a unique track that it's always had 2 side-by-side racing anyway, and it's a lot of these tracks are single file, and very seldom do you see anybody jump up on the outside. But that new asphalt's probably gonna make it that way for a year or two, hopefully maybe 3 at the most, and then it'll start getting the outside groove back.
Yeah.
I'm sure Eddie Johnson will find the outside groove.
Yeah. What about the banking? Keep the banking though?
Oh, absolutely.
I figured so, but
yeah, I've actually had some groups involved with me on this thing, and I've actually walked away from some of the groups for saying they want to change the racetrack.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's got to be the number one, the pinnacle.
I said this is a deal where, it's called Save Southside Speedway. We won't build a new Southside Speedway.
Yeah.
And that's the way I've kind of felt, handled this whole deal with them.
Yeah, we would do like a new Southside Speedway, like they did with the.
And it'd been cheaper probably if I went to Amelia and built me a new racetrack. But it's where I grew up at. It's where my heroes raced at, and I want my grandson to come here and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And see new heroes.
And do you live close by too?
Oh yeah, I live off Beach Road.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, give us your address.
Well, if you fly over there, find my junk.
The track would definitely be fast. I think Bo was telling me about how like late models when it got repaved back the last time were ripping some laps at first, and that was back in the day. Can't imagine now.
I think it was a 13.7
for back then.
Yeah, that was Shane Lockhart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he sat on the pole. I missed the pole in Grand Stock by like 0.02 of a second, and I wanted to protest the guy that night because I caught something on his car illegal, and the officials wouldn't accept the protest. I was so mad. I was going like.
You used to be related to Shane Lockhart, you said?
Yeah, he was married to my wife's sister. His first marriage.
Okay. So I was gonna say, aren't him and Chris Dodson related?
Yeah, then he married Chris's sister.
Oh,
yeah. So
this guy.
So me and Chris are kind of brother-in-laws from different wives.
Yeah, that's funny. Well then, I thank you for I thank you for coming in and talking to me. episode's been well received. Everybody's talking back and forth now, so I'm not even going to try to keep up with it. But Todd said he knows a good paving company. I'm sure he's talking about Dixie Paving, his sponsor.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, we're definitely going to work with people that that's been a part of the racing. That's we're going to them first and try to I want to help the people that help keep the racetrack going all these years.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that'd be awesome. You willing to come back on as we get closer to the reopening?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Cool. All right, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for doing these podcasts, man. I enjoy watching them myself. When y'all,
thank you for. You're welcome.
I don't know why it took you so long to get me on here.
Well, I stopped doing it for a long time, and it was kind of floating around, and then now it's back.
I had to go to Hampton to get on one.
I know, yeah. I do forgive you for going on the rival show, but no big deal. Jack don't even say his name around here. No, I like those guys. I just like to give them a hard time. But thanks again. We'll plan another one, and in the meantime, we'll just stay tuned for updates from you and from everybody and from the track. Even though you are the track, in my opinion, but we'll just wait to see.
Yeah, I was out there Sunday cutting grass.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you should have called Frazier. He'll go out there and do it for you.
I needed some help. That's a whole lot of grass.
Put him on the list.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Lin.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Like and share and subscribe to YouTube as well.